Hey, hi, hello, this is Gus calling from the financial department at Archewell. Yeah, okay. Hi, we've just been wondering if the check cleared from the Duchess, Daily Mail lawsuit check. We just have some really good ideas for it, so.
I'm ready for Hawaii.
It's okay. Just let me know when it clears. Yeah, we want to do some anti-bullying campaign, and you know how we do. Yeah, we do stuff.
Wow. Isn't that how you see Archewell offices looking like? Or is it just me? Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Leilani of Barbados. I am here with a bunch of court cases and I just wanted to go into it. So let's just jump in right now with Meghan Markle's lawsuit. Well, okay, we know that she won. It's an IP lawsuit, of course, because of the infamous letter that she wrote to her father that she knew he would leak, and he did leak. And she won. She won £1 damages for misuse of private information. She said she would only take £1, but she would take an undisclosed amount. But allegedly, that amount is £1 million that she's going to donate to charity, which is why I think Archewell must be sitting there like, where's our money that we can play up with? Because if you go to Archewell website, which don't do, by the way, what you should do at this moment is press subscribe, press the bell notifications, and see if you like the video. But just press it anyway, because I think you will. It's a lot going on. So the website for Archewell, you know, there have been a lot of complaints about it. Whoever built it, it's very difficult to to navigate. And it's a lot of fluff and a lot of mission statements. And we're about this and we're about that. And there's always this donate pop up. When I went to it, I got totally paranoid because I suddenly started receiving like all these emails. And thank you to my subscribers because you guys told me like, don't even open the emails. Don't unsubscribe, just delete them, which actually worked. So I'm just thinking the charities of this world, the charities of this world probably don't realize that you have to go through Archewell in order to get your money. And I don't know how Archewell is, but like I said, it's probably very shady up in there. It's probably a lot of them playing up with the money because they know it's not legit anyway. I'm just speculating, and this is alleged. But anyway, remember Jason Knauf? I'm not sure how to pronounce it because I'm just reading stuff. He was part of the whole Finding Freedom thing, and he revealed text messages from her to him, which you'll see here, where he shows that she deliberately wrote the infamous letter to her father knowing he'd leak it. But of course, even with that, it doesn't change the outcome of the case. He still leaked it. It's still her intellectual property, she claimed, and won. It's a setup that worked. And the messages to me are quite onerous. Hi, Jason. I hope the Reese is going well. I'm currently in Toronto and have drafted a letter to have mailed to my dad. To have mailed to my dad.
Oh, fiddle faddle.
My plan is to write it by hand and FedEx it to somebody who will then mail it to my father. Obviously, everything I have drafted is with the understanding that it could be leaked, so I have been meticulous in my word choice. Please do let me know if anything stands out for you as a liability. Eager to hear your thoughts. And then it says daddy, and of course we know what the letter said. Okay, so the crux of the matter is she sued for both things, the privacy infringement and the copyright, use of her copyright intellectual property letter. And she got this alleged million because it was that she recovered all of the profits they made when they ran the story until it was, cease and desist, whatever. And I guess she would have had to do that in a timely fashion to show that she wasn't just letting it run because she knew she was going to get the the money from it. She obviously had to do it in a timely fashion, and I guess it was proven that like she really just stopped the letter from running, but she still wanted to recover whatever profits they made from her intellectual property because it belonged to her. She also recovered separately her legal fees. So I mean, it's a big win. The $1 thing, I'm not sure how that works, but I guess it was a negotiation tool to definitely get as much as she could and make them have to dig up all of their finances to show like how much they actually made from her intellectual property. So yeah, I mean, I guess it was a good move. Look, apparently she has the best lawyers in the world. Like, apparently she does, for real. Now, what is she going to do with the £1 million? Well, she says she wants to give it to charity. In fact, she wants to give it to an anti-bullying charity, allegedly. Which is rich, I must say, coming from her, because she's going to face more court battles in the future from members of the staff that she bullied and they quit their jobs that they loved just because of her. So that's going to be interesting. I don't know who's holding their breath of these charities for her to waiting for her to send them their check, cut them their check. She might be moving. I've heard that she might be selling her house. Her and Harry do not like it anymore. I mean, if you look at the house, there's nothing not to like on the face of it, but you never know. They don't like it anymore. I think that Meghan is definitely an upwardly mobile thinking individual, and she definitely wants to get to the next big break and the next big house and the next, more money. Again, nothing has come to fruition as far as we've seen in terms of Netflix, Spotify, and all the big contracts that she was promised 20 million a pop and whatever. None of that has come to fruition, but she has got this £1 million, which she is giving to charity, and she's looking for a new house. But anyway, let's move on to the more important court case, which is Prince Andrew, which is what I'm really here to talk about. I'm going back to Meghan again because she's not the only one winning. Apparently Piers Morgan is also back in business. But anyway, we'll go into that in a minute. Let me first deal with Prince Andrew because there's a lot to unpack here. I have the entire case and it's 47 pages. So let's go. Okay, so Prince Andrew thinks that he's going to be protected by this 2009 civil settlement between Virginia Giuffre and Jeffrey Epstein, who at the time was incarcerated in Palm Beach, Florida, for underage SA and trafficking. She settled for $500K US dollars or 370K pounds. If she takes this money, she could not sue or take legal action against any potential defendant. This is where this potential defendant, these two words, become extremely important in what's going on right now. Because Prince Andrew is hoping this will protect him from what's going on right now. The actual case is going on right now. So it's unclear, according to Judge Louis A. Kaplan, what those words mean. And this is why it's difficult for him to make a decision. But apparently it was a poorly written document. Andrew did not know about the 2009 settlement, apparently. And Virginia is accusing Andrew of involuntary SI with her this week. Now, there are three options for what can happen. One is that they settle out of court, which doesn't mean that Andrew is admitting guilt. Two, not to contest it, which means that he doesn't give any evidence and she wins. Or three, proceed with a trial, which could be set for between September and December 2022. If you look at the case on page 3, paragraph 2, line 2, it says this very interesting thing, which I'm going to try to use my dumb brain to figure out. But this motion to dismiss Ms. Giuffre's complaint as legally insufficient, not to determine the truth or falsify of charges in her complaint, and defendant relies mainly, although not exclusively, on a 2009 agreement between Ms. Giuffre and Epstein that settled a different lawsuit between Giuffre and Epstein. The defendant now argues released him from any liability to Ms. Giuffre. The fact that the defendant has brought the matter before the court on a motion to dismiss the complaint as legally insufficient is of central importance, as is well known to lawyers, but perhaps not known to the lay public, like us. The defendant, by making this motion, placed upon the court the unyielding duty to assume for the purposes of this motion only the truth of all of plaintiff's allegations and draw in plaintiff's favor all inferences that reasonably may be drawn from those allegations. And it goes on that the facts are that its allegations are deemed true for purposes of this motion, whatever a trier of fact ultimately might determine at a trial. So the motion to dismiss means that, I think what I'm reading is that it means that they have to assume that everything she's saying is true in order to allow the motion. That's like a nuance of the law that like it's very difficult to like use your normal brain and like think like, how can you just assume everything is true? Because I want to talk about that. Either Prince Andrew is so unlucky that he was the only person that had a picture with Virginia and Ghislaine in Ghislaine's house in London. That's where that famous picture is from. Maybe he's the most unlucky person. He's the most stupido person, estupido, fulio, to get in that picture. And now he just was in the wrong picture at the wrong time. Or it means that he was there and that night, as she's claiming, things transpired that would make him committing a crime. Oh, and by the way, I had some comments about her age. And people were like, oh, she wasn't underage. It's 16 in this country and 17 in that country and 18 in that country. Well, at the top of this, okay, at the very start of this legal document that I'm reading, it says, in short, she alleges that the late Jeffrey Epstein and others trafficked her to Prince Andrew, who took advantage of the situation by essaying her when she was under the age of 18. Okay? So please stop telling me about what country has what age. She said she saw him in London, in Little St. James, which is in the US Virgin Islands, which, by the way, some other person was saying, that's his island, so it's his jurisdiction. It's not. It's a private island that he's leased, but it belongs, it is an actual island belonging to the United States Virgin Islands, so it does have a law. It does have a court behind it.
A comment was made. Mitigated gall of you.
She would have gone home.
So what's the difference between public and private? The comment was a comment and a comment was made. So why is she?
And this is what they're doing in their court. They're arguing about comments and who said what and whatever. And they're having these petty arguments in their court for their budget debate. This is a working government, but you know, they don't have big problems, I guess, on the grand scheme of life or whatever. But they do though, because this happened on under their jurisdiction. So stop saying that he had a private island with his private, you know, laws. No. Excuse me, I have to sneeze. Oh, okay, sorry. Did a lateral flow test this morning, negative, so don't even worry. But yeah, people are not accepting that she was young. Like, she was really young when this happened. And whether she was a, you know, employee or employer or whatever she was in this, because they're calling it a scheme. It was 100 girls, some as young as 14. They specifically targeted girls. This is Prince Andrew. This is people that are, I think she's calling them politicians. The 2009 settlement speaks to politicians and high profile people. These people could have got girlfriends that were 25, maybe some college grads, but they were still young, maybe some models that knew something about life and, you know, knew how to deal with things. Maybe some girls that would have asked them for support. Maybe some girls that would ask them for a car. How about you give me a car? Some of them didn't even have a driver's license, so they couldn't ask for a car. They were probably giving them no money, if anything, and threatening them in ways that they didn't have the capacity or education or understanding to know what was happening to them. Why go so low? Like, why say that? Why go for the bargain? like that. They have so much money. They could have got girlfriends. Prince Andrew could have got girlfriends. I'm sure. He could have got girlfriends to say, you know, I mean, outside women, we call outside women. But side chicks, he could have got people to date him just because he's Prince Andrew. I mean, stop it. Let's not even pretend. He could have got people to date him for that reason, and they would have been over age, you know what I mean? But being wrapped up in this G-Max Epstein issue is very unfortunate if he really just happened to go to a work do. There's a meme. He thought it was a work do. That terrible interview he did. It's memed basically. It's a big joke. You know, he laughs through it. I don't sweat. And he just really did not do a good job with that interview. It was a huge failure. I felt it before I even saw the reviews on it. I felt like it was he had the worst like tone and presence in it. It was just bad. But it's meme now because he thought he was at a work do. Okay, you thought you were at work do. Well, I guess people are going to have to think about the fact that he was at a lot of work do's there. He seemed to pop up a lot there. And he not only did that, but he also had them to Balmoral Castle. I don't know if he asked his parents' permission to entertain guests or not. That bench to sit on that the Queen sat on, like, how dare he, you know? But he entertained these people. Maybe because G-Max is English, high society, apparently, before all this happened. But he might have known her. But it's just like, it's not just a one-off. So you were there a lot. And it seemed to be, I mean, there were interviews where Epstein's friends said, you know, they're so happy he has this island because it's his one opportunity in life to be his true self. And that's what having this island was about, and building this place and whatever, is to be his true self. I mean, how ungrateful. Like, you're a billionaire. Like, you know who can't be their true selves? Like, people who have to work like 14 hours a day and they can't even think of like what they actually would like to do because they have to be doing like hard labor. You know, there's so many people in this world that don't get to be their true self because they're working to make money that you already have. So very sickening to hear that his idea of being his true self was to build this island where he would ruin 100 girls' lives. That's him being his true self. He can finally be his true self. Wow. So he has all this money. He doesn't pay them very much, obviously. And he's being his true self. I don't know. It doesn't sit well with me. Now, as I said, it's all going to come out. People are trying to say Prince Andrew's already going to trial. My belief, my feelings, is that he would probably settle out as damage control. And I hope people understand when he does that he's not admitting guilt, because I'm sure like that's one of the pulls of settling out, is that you don't have to admit guilt. But yeah, he should settle out. No, he has money. He just settle out with her. And I think that would be the best option. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens. If he goes to trial, you know, those unsealed documents do be including footage, pictures, and the rest. So maybe it's just one picture, maybe it's not. Maybe he doesn't really want anyone to know about that. So trial, that would all come out in the wash there. So maybe he won't do that. She said that Andrew knew she was underage and a coerced victim of trafficking. She said her life was threatened if she did not act, or she disobeyed what they told her to do, and that Andrew's actions affect her to this day. So it's up to you to think, like, what's going to happen. I mean, we as like commentators or whatever would probably like to hear that it goes to trial. Not being funny, but like, it would be interesting to see exactly what Prince Andrew's involvement was, and not just push it under the rug, and really get to know what Randy Andy really means for real. But for his sake, I would hope that he just settles out and lets this go away. Anyways, I'm not his lawyer. So, in terms of going back to Meghan Markle really quickly. Yeah, so Piers Morgan is out here saying that he never saw anyone slide into his DMs as fast as Meghan Markle did. And he slams her and takes aim at cancel culture in a blistering takedown. So he's back and he's for real. He's talking about how he got taken down by her, how she's since then all these things have come out about her after the interview, after her bullying allegations, and yet he was told to apologize to this woman. And he's back to say, well, more stuff, which is that, you know, she was pursuing him because the weatherman, Alex Beresford, alluded to him like being in love with her or something and disappointed and sour grapes over her. And now he's revealing that she actually slid into his DMs faster into my DMs. Piers Morgan says Meghan Markle had a crush on him, he's saying. I thought that he was talking about taking her to dinner and flew her out to London, took her to dinner, and at dinner, by the time he had taken her to dinner, she had already got in contact with her friend who had set up a blind date with Prince Harry, or for her to go to a party to meet Prince Harry anyway. And so she then was no longer interested in spending any time with Piers Morgan, who originally got her there, because he's saying she slid into his DMs and they were having this friendship online for a long time before she got her connections to Prince Harry. So he's about to talk about all of that again. He already said it in an article, and I had already covered that in a previous video. So he's coming back with that for those in the back who didn't hear. I just think it's crazy that like all of this is really happening now. I mean, you have here, Queen has had to put out a statement. Royal Communications puts out a statement. With the Queen's approval and agreement, the Duke of York's military affiliations and royal patronages have been returned to the Queen. The Duke of York will continue not to undertake any public duties and is defending this case as a private citizen. Okay, we get it. Gotcha. So, I mean, there you go. He is now out on his own. And that's good that they said that, because now we know that taxpayer money will not be part of his. I love this one. There's another meme with the Queen is saying, looking at her phone saying, oh my God, she has like 76 missed calls from Andrew. He's like, hello? Anyone there? Hi, hello? Hello? Oh.
Hello? Is it me you're looking for?
Justice is being served. Yeah, so the judge really thinks the language is muddled in the settlement agreement. And I think that just speaks to the fact that Virginia, for a very long time, has had no proper representation and has just been the underdog to all of these extremely powerful and wealthy people. And she's really lucky that she's, still fighting this, because these people know how to disappear people. They really do. And I'm glad that she's protected. I'm glad that she's not in this country, the UK, or in the United States of America living. And I'm just really happy that she's safe, because she's taking down some very serious people. And there are not many people named. So I understand why people are just going at her the whole time, because there are not many people that will come out with their names, obviously. So, I mean, she's really quite a champion for the cause. Even if she's learned that, what she was doing back then and coerced to do back then could have hurt other people as well. She's doing the Lord's work at this point, I think. I mean, just take it for what it is, okay? It's coming out because of her. So let it come out. And let's not criticize her because she's not on trial. Okay? That's my take. Thank you very much for watching me. Please subscribe and press the bell notifications if you like this video, and keep watching my videos. And I have more things coming out. I want to look at this house. If Meghan Markle does sell the house, of course it will be public record and we'll be able to see that, and we'll be able to also see whatever else she buys. So how much it costs and everything. But I hope that the bullying trial does come up soon. I'm very interested in that because it sounded like she was a hot mess up in there with those people, asking them to do all kinds of crazy requests at like all kinds of hours of the morning, even though she was claiming that she herself was not okay because she had no time to herself. She was just wrapped in this royal duties thing with this new baby. You had time to harass people at 8 and 6 and 7 in the morning though. Anyway, that's my final take. I'm sorry to ramble at the end. Love you all so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Please keep commenting. I hope my last video didn't turn you guys off of commenting. Just as a conclusion on that last video, I was not attacking any other creator. All I was saying that in the comments, I should not be told to have the same opinion as any other creator, because we are all on this platform doing our thing. Okay? That's all I was saying. It was nothing to do with the creators. It was to do with the comments about my opinion. We all get our sources. Our sources are all the same. The news, at least those are my sources. So don't tell me what to think, okay? Okay, love you guys so much. Mwah, 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 mwah. Love you. Bye.
I'm ready for Hawaii.